Hi, I'm Woody. I'm a skateboarder from Canberra. I've been skateboarding at these brick banks since I was about 10 years old.
Hi, I'm David Pang, sort of in my 50s, long-term Canberran and pretty long-term skateboarder. I've known Erindale ever since it was built, so it was built a year or two after Erindale College was built. My understanding is, even though it's not a full-time skate facility, that it was built because Erindale, the entry to Erindale College had some brick banks that the local kids identified as being awesome for skating. Erindale, as you can see, a path with brick banks on either side was the perfect recipe for street skating terrain.
It's not a purpose-built skate park. It was a courtyard or a spot that was a part of the college that was accidentally awesome for skateboarding, and they turned it into a skate park in the 90s. The elements of this place that were not purpose-built for skating are what makes it so unique. Brown bricks, kind of banked and sloping, running through the whole area, and gradually over the years, different parts were renovated or knocked down or changed, and this is the last part that's left.
Well, we're here at the entry to Erindale College, and this is the facility, even though it's changed a little bit, that was the catalyst and inspiration for Erindale Banks. So when Erindale College was first built, those red brick curves continued both sides of the entrance there, which has now got the blue rock walls. The skaters that went to this school would skate on these banks every morning and afternoon and recess time. Obviously the school thought it was in their best interest to try and put an end to that, and the red banks aren't here anymore, but thankfully we've still got Erindale Skating Park. Erindale was basically packed out most weekends when it was first built, and Erindale was the blend from skating transitions into street skating, so it was super popular at the time.
When I was starting, I didn't even think the brick banks, like some of the steeper brick banks, were even possible to skate, because I was just a 10-year-old kid with no idea what to do. And then as I skated more, learned a little more, I started looking at them like, oh, I could probably skate these. Pros tour, they go through Sydney, Melbourne, all the places nearby. And when they come to Canberra, this is like, oh, Canberra, that's the place with those brick banks that I've seen in magazines or videos, or that so-and-so got that trick on. The Bones Brigade and Tony Hawk, like sitting in this very spot, skating this place. Vans would pull up in the parking lot, and pro skaters from America would get out. They'd be on tour, and they'd hear about the brick banks and want to come and skate it.
So everyone would come to Erindale and just wait in anticipation to see what some of those more-known skaters are going to do at Erindale, and just sort of see whether the Canberra Australian skaters can sort of measure up to what the Yankees and the pro skaters can do.
And, you know, we'd just be a bunch of kids on break at a college class, and we'd see some people we idolised just like get out and start skating.
It was awesome for the local Canberra skaters to be able to get close and personal, actually get in there and skate with them. See that they're human as well, and they're not going to make the trick every time. They're skating something totally new, and some of the Canberra skaters were almost as good, if not better, than the Bones Brigade, because they were used to skating this terrain.
Moments like that was when I really started to appreciate how unique this place is, and why people go out of their way to come here and skate it. There was whispers and rumours that this place might be getting knocked down. I was pretty worried. There were rumours circulating about it for the longest time, like going back to when I was in school. Kept an eye out and saw that there was a master plan for the area that earmarked the road to come through this spot. There were no time frames put on it. It was just like a pretty vague document. Found out about that and immediately started looking into what we could do to prevent this place from being knocked down, or at least preserve a part of it because of how iconic it is in the skateboarding world. And that was where I looked into the heritage nomination and how to do that. I think like people that do like urban planning and make decisions about what gets built where and how suburbs are designed, I don't think skateboarding's at the forefront of their mind. So I think to most people this is just a run-down little ditch in between a few buildings. But I wouldn't expect them to, but not many people really know the significance of this place to skateboarding. And then I guess also the significance to this place in terms of Erindale and how Erindale as an area has changed over the years. Like, this is the last remaining little section of what Erindale used to be throughout the whole college and library and shopping centre area. I reached out to some people I know who have skated here and hold this place in pretty high regard, and told them about it just to get some anecdotes or testimonials for the heritage nomination. People were pretty bummed out to hear that it might go. Myself and a few others were working on the heritage nomination to try and save the place, because it'd be a real shame if this place did get knocked down. Craig did a gnarly frontside nose slide, so here you go. Thank you much, Georgie. I know it seems a bit biased because he's like a good mate and all, but he can't do it. There are so many purpose-built skate parks around the country and around the world that don't have anything quite like this, and I think if you tried to do it on purpose, you couldn't. This is a place that was just built to look a certain way or have a certain aesthetic, and it just happens to be awesome for skateboarding. It's the most covered spot in Canberra. If you're talking international skateboarding media coverage, there's no other place in Canberra that's been seen or covered that has as much history as this spot. To people that skateboard and people that travel and skateboard and come through Canberra, if this place got knocked down and it wasn't here anymore, I think a lot of people would be really disappointed, because that piece of history would be lost.
It just seemed quite ridiculous for the local departments or developers to think of demolishing this when it's really taking up little space, and it still can be used as a thoroughfare for people to get from the suburb to the shops and to the school, and it also fulfills the purpose of allowing people to be creative and skate and enjoy themselves.
Haven't really heard any news except that it's nominated. It's not actually on the Heritage Register, but it's got nomination protections. I kind of went on a bit of a mission to track down as much significant media, like photos and video from this place as I could from different eras in the past, and then reached out to people I know who have like done some really cool stuff here, or who I know are like big fans of this place. We put it on the Canberra Skateboarding Association website as kind of like a blog post, as well as submitting it. And then we just waited. I got a letter in the mail saying that it was nominated. I was glad that it got some kind of acknowledgement. There was a little part of me that was worried that the Heritage Register would look at something to do with skateboarding and just turn their nose up at it. The fact that they acknowledged it and accepted it as nominated, that meant a lot. It is a little frustrating that it's been like 5 years and we don't know what the outcome is yet. That's a little frustrating.
The local authorities did listen to the general community, and in particular the skateboarding community, and hopefully it won't get demolished. The optimist in me wants to be hopeful, but there's so much uncertainty, I just don't know. At very least, it'd be great to see some kind of compromise, preserve that little bit of history, keep this public space. These places are important. I learned to skate here. I grew up around the area. I think the way that I skateboard was kind of influenced a lot by the challenges that this place has presented. I really like steep, sharp transitions and like kind of rougher skate spots, and that's because I grew up skating here, and that's what this is. It's rough around the edges and it's challenging. It's fun. This place really captures the essence of street skating, even though it's a skate park, because like street skating at its core is like going out and riding your skateboard on things that were never meant to be skated on. It's making use of just like things you find out there in the urban sprawl, and that's what this place was originally. Erindale is a unique, iconic facility. It's been here for decades and decades. It's still in super great condition. It should be kept. Man, if I got $1 for every time that I swept out skate parks and paths for skating, I'd be a rich person.